Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a quick little poll here. Please comment if you want me to do a stupid joke for my cold open, or B, if you want me to sing some type of silly song. But the thing is, we're back live, so it doesn't matter. This is what we're doing right now, baby. We are back live. Get those comments coming in. This new format. There we go. Hit that money-making music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 66 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. We already got the comments coming in. There it is. We are back. He just took the words right out of my mouth. We're also voting for a silly song. I actually have Come Sail Away by Styx stuck in my head. So if you want me to sing Come Sail Away, maybe at the end of the show, I don't even know if I can get to that high. And an octave, I believe, is the correct term. Anyway, like I said, episode 66, joining us, as always, on the bottom part of our screen, the first ever PWB champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are you today?
Good to be back. Good to be back live. And if you're going to do Come Sail Away at the end of the show, you got to do it as Cartman.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You stole my thunder.
That's a fair point. Also, what as I said, the getting his thunder stolen, Mike made his cousin, John Smith. John, how did your fantasy draft end up? I know you said pre-production had just ended.
Holy crap. Yeah, it started Friday, not last Friday, 2 Fridays ago. And it's actually, there's like 3 picks left. I already finished my end of it. It's 28 rounds. It's dynasty draft, 2 quarterback, a bunch of flex. It's crazy. My last pick was Lynn Bowden. That's how deep we went. So, but yeah, I was going to pick Tim Tebow, but I saw a little bit of value in Lynn Bowden, so I wasn't just going to have a throwaway pick.
Sure, Lynn Bowden. Who doesn't want Lynn Bowden on their fantasy team? And we got James back. We are ready to roll. It is official. We are a go. Today's show, Finn Balor is not done with the Universal title picture yet on SmackDown. Indy Hartwell is defying the way on NXT. There was a huge 6-man tag team match on Impact. Gary Mehaffy, as always, is with us. He's going to discuss that ridiculous Iron Man match between Jordan Devlin and A-Kid. Unbelievable. They just raised the bar, those two. Absolutely incredible. Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com. He is back with us as well. We got 2 huge, I don't know if you would call them indie shows this weekend. We got New Japan's Resurgence, and we have AAA's Triple Mania, I guess their version of Bound for Glory. So Ryan Joy will be here to talk about that. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, as always, presented by MinutesToBellTime.com. All the graphics and statistics you will see throughout the episode are provided by MinutesToBellTime.com. And, of course, as always, sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, as we found out last night on Raw, Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie were all over the place last night on Raw. Great to see those two back, because you know what, ladies? You'll like it too. There we go. All right. James was through. I didn't even read this one yet. You know, there was a tag team breakout at AEW Dark Elevation yesterday. All right, maybe Ryan Joy can comment on that as well. But we're going to begin the show with Ryan Joy and All Elite Wrestling as John Smith's roller coaster of emotions with the almost retirement of Cody Rhodes. And we're going to curtain jerk the show with hearing voices in our heads. They counsel us. They understand. They talk to us. Randy Orton, he was gone for 7 weeks. I thought he was gone for like 3. I don't know where the hell I've been the past month and a half that Randy Orton's been gone. I felt like it was only like 3 weeks. Oh man, Randy he just left. I don't know what the big deal is, but
Riddle made it feel like he was still there.
What's that?
Riddle made it feel like he was still around, you know?
I guess maybe that was it. Yeah, I guess. But they returned last night to the scene of the crime. They had their homecoming. They were back at the Thunderdome last night at the Amway Center. Randy Orton started the show, which was immediately interrupted by Riddle, who was so excited to see Randy. But John DeCounty, Randy wants to fly solo, and now we got these breakups going on. Adam Page and Dark Order. Now we got Randy and Riddle. Like, this is.
Yeah, Randy told Riddle, I'm best off on my own. But then they didn't really have a chance to work out their issues because AJ and Omos interrupted. AJ challenged Randy. Randy accepted, then attempted an RKO, which AJ got out of the way of. And then in, your comedy relief of the evening, Riddle attempted an RKO by climbing Omos. When that didn't work, he got double choke slammed. And this was the start of the show. Bring it all the way around to the main event where Randy and AJ Styles would finally face off. And they did their thing. I mean, you got, two fantastic wrestlers. They got 11 plus minutes to work. But in the end, you got Omos, Randy joined with Omos outside the ring. Riddle, who was told to leave Randy alone, jumps Omos in Randy's defense. Randy's a little bit pissed, but he gets back to work on AJ. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. Randy turns it into an oh my God RKO. He gets the 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, he and Riddle comes in to celebrate. Randy's not happy. They work it out. Randy tries to walk off. Riddle kind of calls him back. They work it out. They hug it out. Everything seems okay. And in true Viper fashion, boom, RKO, Riddle down. But then we get a little bit of a positive spin because Randy kind of, tussles his hair and kind of pats him on the head. And as we're going off the air, Saxon says, I don't know. I think they worked it out. Well, apparently after the camera stopped rolling, John Cena comes out. He worked it out between the two of them, and we had a big three-way hug. So I don't know that we're going to get Riddle versus Randy. We may still get that Riddle and Randy versus AJ and Omos.
Yeah, as you say that, James commented that. I didn't hear anything about that. I turned the TV off, went to sleep. Well, I had a big day today, but regardless. But yeah, I guess now we're back up in the air. But if it's not on TV, did it really happen? I guess the guys like me that don't really. We'll find out next week, right? We still got we still got one more episode before for the go home for SummerSlam, so we'll find out maybe next week. Speaking of SummerSlam, our almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley and MVP, they had an in-ring promo. MVP asked Gage Goldberg to convince his father not to show up to SummerSlam. I believe actually Gage was the one that talked out of him from showing up to Raw last night because there wasn't an altercation. But then MVP with the last line, I'm not next, you're not next, you're done. So tough line by the champ at the end. We go forward with that. Maybe next week Goldberg will show up. Our Raw Women's Champion, Nikki Ash, she defeated Rhea Ripley via disqualification after a pissed off Charlotte Flair came out and dropped them both. There goes Charlotte Flair ripping off Seth Rollins. Did you see her outfit last night? That was amazing. Oh, that was so good. We had our first in a long time, so you do it quarterly, right? So maybe like 4 times a year, we had our Raw SmackDown crossover. This time it was Baron Corbin who got the phone call from Jinder Mahal. He's like, hey, Baron, you want to make a couple bucks? Which, of course, Baron is all for. And Baron, Jinder's like, all right, take out Drew McIntyre, which Corbin ended up doing. Ended up being a Claymore. Here's the question I have for you two. All right, if Corey Graves is supposed to be such a close friend to Baron Corbin, why is not Graves helping him?
Because Graves is a scumbag? I don't know. Or
I guess is Mella not allowing Corbin to sleep on their couch? He's sleeping in production trucks now. Can't Baron just crash on their couch until he gets his bleep together? Like, my God. All right, where was I? The United States champion, Sheamus, he had a Champions Contenders match against Ricochet. He defeated him after Ricochet. He attempted a leaping headbutt, hit Sheamus right in the protective covering, and then he ate a bro kick for his efforts. So Sheamus got the win there. But while Sheamus was celebrating, the NXT guys, Vince just doesn't care about these NXT guys. Damian Priest comes out, challenges Sheamus. Priest again goes. He's on a little win streak against John Morrison. He beat Morrison right after that. But yeah, these NXT guys, Vince hates. All right, so Damian Priest gets the United States Championship match at SummerSlam. Don't believe everything you read. Start believing what you see. How about that? Smith, speaking of NXT guys, the champ was in the house again.
Still without Scarlett. Please tell me why. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting until he doesn't have the belt anymore. But we got a little promo from him beforehand, which his little timer the sand wasn't moving for some reason. It was just sitting there. I don't know how it was defying gravity while it was upside down like that. But this is the way the match should have went the first time they went, when Jeff Hardy got the screw job victory in like 30 seconds. It was about 5-7 minutes of Cross beating him up and Jeff Hardy making a couple comebacks, and finally we get a Saito off the second rope, I believe, or maybe he just plucked him off the ropes and destroyed him. But either way, when a choke out, not a choke out, a tap out for the win.
Yeah, actually, I just read a comment. Yeah, Jeff carried Cross, and then he had the hand over the ear. That's just I don't know why Cross does that. It bothers me a little bit, but if that's the only thing that bothers me about carrying Cross, then I'll take it.
It would bother you a lot more if you were an MMA fan.
Oh, really? Yeah. Does he not want to hear Jeff Hardy screaming? I never understood. Does he not want to hear his opponent screaming? But they're not really screaming because they get the air choked out of him.
That's just that's him taking something else from MMA and using it completely incorrectly.
No, gotcha.
That's called answering the phone in jiu-jitsu. That's you putting your hand between somebody else's arm to relieve the pressure on your carotid or your jugular. It's a defense. So when he does it and puts the hand on his own ear, that hand's supposed to be on the back of his opponent's head, forcing him into the choke. Yeah. But in NXT,
like used to do.
Yeah, he's this big badass, so you just look right past it.
Yeah, but that's what everyone's just got to go back to the late 80s, early 90s. Just watch tapes, highlights of Brutus the Barber Beefcake. No one's gonna sleeper better than him. That was he was MMA right before MMA was cool. Brutus Beefcake, right? John Smith, Alexa Bliss, she had a match with Dewdrop. This one got a little quirky, I guess is the word, maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more on board with Eva Marie, like with your thing, dude. Because just seeing her every week, it doesn't even matter what she's doing. Just seeing her on the screen, I can mute it and just watch her all day long. But we got Alexa coming out with that gimmick of hers with her new song, which is pretty cool. That she kind of sings along to on her way down.
Yeah.
It's a pretty standard match between her and Dewdrop, and then Lily winks at her. I don't know what they did to make it look like Lily was with the audience behind her when they did that to her eye. But Lily blinks at Dewdrop. We get a roll up from Alexa Bliss, and she really folded her in half too.
Yeah.
For the Raw roll up, of course. So.
Yeah, I think Ted every once in a while, and Alf. I looked at Alf and I said, Ted, I looked the wrong way. They wink to people every once in a while on air. I guess it happens. I heard the crowd booing after it was on the Titantron. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that's far be it. I'll just keep the, what is it, kayfabe it's called? You got to keep kayfabe. It's all linked, sure. What it was is she thought she heard, and guys, she'll like it too, and she went. She thought all that Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie stuff. She was just joining right in. John Connie, a nice little feud going with Mustafa Ali. Along with, again, these NXT guys just can't catch a break. Mansoor and T-Bar, along with, why am I blanking on T-Bar's partner name? Mace. And Mace, shame on Mace, that little ass kisser, in his little pre-interview match. The timing of it, I'm sure. Size matters. Okay, we get it. You read the articles, Mace. Gotcha. Ass kisser.
Oh shit. Yeah, so we had T-Bar versus Ali, and it was only about a 3-minute match. T-Bar finished them off with his version of the Go to Hell. I think he calls it the Feast Your Eyes. And then afterwards, ass kisser Mace rolls into the ring, so the two of them can deliver blind justice. But Mansoor makes the save, clears the ring, and stands strong with his buddy there, Ali. So I guess he's learning, or maybe they're learning from each other. I don't know.
Yeah, he owed him one from the week prior when Ali shoved Mansoor out of the ring and took the bullet, the double choke slam. Yeah. Took the bullet for the two of them. Again, retribution. I guess Mason T-Brown just never get over that. I think I said it last week too. Just 5 years from now, God forbid, all those guys make it that long. Or God willing, excuse me, like all those guys make it that long. Even like in a Royal Rumble, just out of nowhere, everyone's got completely different gimmicks, but just Mason T-Bar, they just grab Mustafa Ali, just choke slam him, and they just do the retro. Anyway, that'd be fun. Gotta keep everything going. Neither Akira Tozawa or R-Truth could catch Reggie, so Reggie was able to escape the arena with title in hand, or I guess in this case around his waist. And I'm really interested to see if Reggie can make some type of guest appearance on that Ultimate Tag show or whatever that's on. I forget what channel it's on. I don't know if it's on NBCSN I saw it on, but that channel's dying, so maybe it's gonna be on the Cock. I don't know, but Ultimate Tag, I think Reggie would be pretty good at. He was jumping around crazy, and then James Wheeler poses a question, and I think everybody's heart broke a little bit. Where's the comment? There we go. Comment. Everyone's heart broke a little bit. What's wrong with Elias? He was in the woods or whatever, walked over, there was a campfire going, and he said Elias is dead, throws his guitar in the fire, and did anyone tell him that he wasn't the one that was released? He wasn't one of the guys that was released? Like, everyone's doing these videos after that. They're getting freed from prison, I guess. I don't know. They've been perfect for Elias, but, he still has a job, so I don't know. I figured he would sing his way through the blues if he wasn't feeling all that well. I don't know. So that was it about last night. We're going to go to Friday night. We are going to layeth the smacketh down on your Rudy Poo candy ass live from Emily Arena in stupid Tampa where some stupid hockey team plays. I don't want to talk about it. John Smith, Finn Balor, he had one coming for Baron Corbin after the whole contract signing incident, and then it escalated actually a little farther from there. But that was the main event. That was the main event match. Was Finn Balor and Baron Corbin.
Yeah, good old ketchup stain. He pulled double duty this week, going on both shows, or I guess it was last week he pulled double duty technically. But the match did not last long at all. Coup de grace for the win. Then Finn Balor starts talking trash on the mic after the fact about Cena and that, maybe you would have let this slide a few years ago, but not now. And then the Usos and Roman come out, you don't talk about us, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, I was talking about Cena, And then they end up beating the crap out of Balor. And that's how we get off the air, right?
Yeah, Phil actually, he held his own for a bit. He fought off both Usos at once, and then he had Roman on the ropes before the 3-on-1. So Finn was doing his thing with the finger guns. He was doing his thing.
Yeah, it looks like he's next after Cena loses to Roman at SummerSlam.
I would think so. It doesn't sound like Finn is done. That was exactly what Finn Balor said. I am not done going for the Universal Championship, and if I have to go through John Cena to do it, then that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully, I'd like to see a match with him and Cena first before he goes to Roman. I think haven't seen Balor and Cena yet. I don't think we have.
No.
I mean, we can't see. We didn't see Cena on Friday. I guess he was probably doing promo. So both challengers at SummerSlam were nowhere to be found this past weekend. I think Cena has a little bit more of an excuse. He had a movie premiere debut, walking around as what's his name said in the movie with a toilet bowl on his head. I thought that was pretty funny. That was a good movie. Anyway, Sasha Banks started the show, said that no one would steal her spotlight ever again. Bianca eventually interrupted, said if Sasha wanted a shot, she got it. But then Zelina Vega came out. Now she's got a really big gripe here. I'm sorry. Zelina came out and said that Bianca accepted her challenge first. So Bianca said, okay, Sasha, I'll take you at SummerSlam. Zelina, I'll take you tonight. So Zelina thinks she's got a championship match. That's twice now that Zelina Vega was challenged and Bianca accepted, but Sonya and Postman wouldn't give it to her because it wasn't proper promotion. The contract didn't go through litigation or whatever. What a bunch of crap. So Zelina Vega's getting screwed. She didn't win anyway. They had the match. Bianca Belair, again, this is probably maybe like the 20th time they fought in the past year. And it's actually, that match probably wasn't as good as the better, but it's Zelina and Bianca is a very good pairing. I like watching those two wrestle. Bianca got the win with a kiss of death again. So we're going on forward to Bianca and Sasha at SummerSlam. Edge and Seth Rollins, they had a segment where Edge challenged Seth to SummerSlam. Seth eventually accepted it, so we'll talk about that next Saturday, and we'll get to that promotion in a second next Saturday. A weird conversation with the Mysterios. I feel like when this turns bad, I don't know if this is a bucket list item for anybody else here or even in the wrestling world, but could we potentially get a heel Rey Mysterio out of this? Like Ray's like, no, listen to me. I'll take care of you. I got some trick. No, you follow me. I don't need your help. Ray's actually going to be the one. You would think Dominic being the snotty kid. I don't need the teenager. I don't need you anymore. I think Ray's going to be the heel in this. Like that is such a bucket. That's like Hulk Hogan going heel. Like this is Ray's never been heel. This is actually going to be pretty crazy. Going into the match though, John DeConnie, it was I don't know if it was a rematch or whatnot. Dom Mysterio and Jey Uso leading into their match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, so again, we had Ray and Dom backstage. Like you said, there's a weird vibe between Ray and his son. But they come out to the ringside hugging, and everything's all good once the bell rings. But Dom did get distracted while Ray was busy taking out Jimmy at ringside, and this led to him missing his frog splash. He'd eat a super kick and then eat a Uso splash and lose to Jay in about 8.5 minutes. But like you said, that is the thing that I picked up the last 2 weeks. I could barely keep track of which two are in the ring, which two aren't, and I really don't even care about which two win. It's the last couple of weeks, Ray is just kind of been passive-aggressive towards Dom. Yeah. And is it, like you say, is it Ray going to eventually take out his son, or is it Dom just going to be like, all right, Pop, I get the point. You're a legend. Enough. And, and is that going to be what leads him to turn on dear old dad? I don't know, but, it certainly seems like it's coming.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe SummerSlam, do you do this in front of 80,000 people at Allegiant Stadium? That'd be a fun place to do it. That'd be a nice SummerSlam, considering, that's Dom's first appearance is when Ray won the ladder match to get his son back, or his son, Dominic Guerrero. So that'd be interesting. John DeConnie, we also had another championship contenders match. We go rip it on AEW. I said that. Yeah. But champions contenders match and Nakamura. This is now 2 wins.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this one was by DQ, but yes, this is a clean pin over Cruz in the whatever it was 6 or 8 man tag the week before, and now Kingsgay getting a DQ victory when Aziz just decided to pull Nakamura off the cover and out of the ring after about 2 minutes, and Shin would wind up with the upper hand. He'd hold the ring, chase the two of them off, but yeah, this is leading towards something. I thought we were going to get a multi and perhaps a very multi-person IC scrap at the SummerSlam, but maybe we go straight to Nakamura Cruz. Who knows?
Yeah, Big E's just kind of terrorizing Heyman at the moment, and Dolph and Rude, they were back. They had a match against the Street Profits. They lost via the top rope splash from Montez Ford on Ziggler, so they're not in the Intercontinental title. And then who was the last? Cesaro. I don't know where Cesaro. What happened to him? So it looks like we might be getting 1-on-1, which I'm cool with. And then Tegan Knox. Congratulations to Tegan Knox. We were worried there for a second that you lost your first name, but she was officially announced as Tegan Knox. And only time will tell if they take her first name away. We're getting worried. It was just Knox and Shotzi there for a while. Shotzi, I'm a little worried about. But it looks like Tegan's going to keep her full name. So Tegan Knox, she had a match with Tamina. Shotzi shot the tank missile at Tamina while Tamina had her up for a Samoan drop. That small distraction allowed Tegan to reverse out of it into the Royal roll-up. And Tegan has a win for her. Again, shock face apple. Tegan shock face is just absolutely, I love it. Absolutely incredible. So she said, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to be, Natalya is going to be ready in time for SummerSlam. So it looks like that championship match is going to have to be held off as my drops. But this is what we have going into SummerSlam. Here's the card that we have right now. 7 matches booked. 6 of them are championships. Is that potentially Riddle versus Orton if that's not the tag team title match? Who knows? McIntyre and Jinder, that's almost a layup. It could be Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie. It could be a tag team match. If Lily's going to be getting involved, it's going to be Alexa and Lily versus Eva Marie and Doudrop. That would be a crazy tag team match. And then the Intercontinental Championship match, like I said, Nakamura 2 wins over Apollo Crews. We're looking like we're headed there with that. So what is that? 7 4, 11 matches. That might be too many, but who knows for sure. All right, I believe so we got comments rolling in. Let's see Shogun knocks hard. I like it. I like it. Shogun knocks hard. It's better than Noxie. Nazi.
Or Poops McGee.
Poops McGee. All right, gentlemen, that will do it for the WWE segment. We are going to give you guys a quick break. And we're going to bring in the handsome. We're going to bring in the icon, Gary. Oh, my Brandon say I cover your face every time I do that. And I just there we go. Bring in the handsome, Gary Mehaffy. Gary, first of all, how are things going out overseas over the pond?
Oh, they're going well. Things are not too bad. Gearing up. I've got another 2 weeks off here, so I'm all right.
All right, I believe the first question for you is, what did John Cena tell the Japanese chef?
You can't sash me. Thank you.
Gary, this is what Gary and Ryan do during a private chat while they're not on air. Actually, Gary, I don't know if you're aware of this. I saw this article before we get into NXT UK. Let me get the UK bracket up there. There we go, graphic. I saw this picture. We might have a little bit of a problem here. So apparently there's no Garys going to be left in Britain by the year 2050. Nobody has been named. Let's get the ticker down here. Nobody's been named Gary since 1992. Is this going to be an issue, Gary? Like, are you the last dying breed? Like, what's going on?
Much like Europe said back in the day, it's the final countdown. I'm on the kind of at least I know when it'll be away by. If you know what I mean, I'm easily insured.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Nobody's been named Gary in Great Britain since 1994.
To be fair, because people got wind of me being here and then went, we can't get any better than him.
We can't top that. Now, what's the next name? Yeah. And then they start going to Larry.
You can't improve on perfection.
No, you can only try to rip it off. Go like Barry, Larry, Harry. Harry the Prince, right? Harry. Yeah, I'm sure he was named Harry. Gary, so let's get into wrestling here. Iron Man match. I watched it this morning. I was a little late, but holy crap. The final score was 2-1. All 3 decisions were based on submission. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was brilliant. I mean, it was such a... I actually had tweeted out, and actually both Andy Shepherd and Nigel McGuinness had agreed. They liked it and agreed with it. To say, I thought the entire episode was actually the best episode that they've done. There have been better matches, obviously. I mean, the Ilya Dragunov match was amazing, but this match, unbelievable. The 2 guys, and as you said, the fact that all 3 falls were submissions. I mean, the first one obviously being the Boston Crab, and then you had the arm bar, and then finally Omoplata. And then even finishing it with Jordan Devlin having a kid down and getting the count to 2, and then the bell went, that he almost equalized. He almost made it back to 2-2.
They were making a big. His shoulder was coming up. A kid was kicking out. I saw his shoulder. They were blowing that for no reason. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, but just an unbelievable match. I mean, the 2 guys, we knew it could be. And the thing is, they could do a 15-minute sprint of high spots, and just because they're both that sort. But they didn't. I mean, there was so much mat work, so much wrestling, so much technical stuff.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievable 30-minute match. Hats off to both of them.
Yeah, they were pulling off some reversals. I didn't think were possible. I think Devlin had a kid and almost like a stretch like this, and Haken like jumped over him. It was like
and even like he was going to powerbomb him at one point, and he countered it into Hurricane Ran and stuff like that as well. It was just. I mean, the moves they were doing, it was just like 30 minutes. You couldn't take your eyes off.
Now, the Devlin side from the apron to the outside, Devlin from the apron. That was tough. So.
Yeah.
So going forward with that, so that's one match apiece, right? So
Yeah.
any predictions? Where do we go from here with these two? This has got to be settled.
I mean, I would hope that. I mean, we know last week and before, like when we were recording, whatever, Ryan had spoken to me. We were talking about another UK takeover. I would like to think there's some matches that are kind of building, and you could have them on a big show, but to have them at a takeover, because now that we're allowed fans back, I think it's the thing that they should be doing. So it looks to me that's the sort of match that I don't know how you top a 30-minute Ironman match.
No,
but at the same time, I think that's the one. Like if they were doing stuff, their blow off match or the rubber match in front of the fans, I think is the way to try and go. Definitely.
Now I know you have connections, Gary. Let's just keep going with this for a second. You have any word about anything? Like, how is this new Delta variant? Is that screwing you guys up over there? Like, what's going on? What is the state of the union over there?
It seems to almost actually be worse here in Northern Ireland than it is in Scotland, England, and Wales at the minute. It's been kind of it has kicked in. I will say that today was the biggest daily death rate in the UK since March, and so on, because for people with COVID. So it is kind of kicking in. So people are worried. Like, I mean, there's been talks of or rumors of some stuff having to be locked down again in and around October, November time. They're worried about. Hopefully not, but. So that is the one thing. Although in saying that, I watched a cricket. There was a cricket match on TV tonight, and there was a full crowd. I know it was outdoors, but it was full crowd. Everybody sitting there. I know a lot of soccer matches or football matches that are starting up now are allowed quite a lot of crowds in. So they seem to be doing it. And even tomorrow night here in Belfast, Chelsea are playing Villarreal in the Super Cup, and there's going to be the whole stadium's going to be full in Belfast tomorrow night. There's no restrictions at all, and there's people flying in from Spain and England and everywhere. So hopefully it doesn't pay to it. Some of the local groups here in Belfast are running a game with limited numbers, maybe 40% numbers that are allowed fans is what they would usually have. But so hopefully it doesn't curtail things too much. But
yeah, I did. I know something.
Yeah.
He was trying to speak American for us. He was just trying to translate. That's all.
No way, man.
Yeah, but
I
mean, we're going full crowd. We've been at full crowds. There's Lollapalooza. There's a big music show at Lollapalooza. It was nuts. Could have 80,000 people in Vegas. Vegas isn't doing too well right now. So just shove them in there. Screw it. Like two afterwards. Why not? Let's go to that too. All right. So backstage. After the week's prior main event where Mustache Mountain defeated Symbiosis, Pretty Deadly laid down the challenge for Mustache Mountain, which Mustache Mountain gladly accepted, Gary. We're going to talk about that next week. That is going to be our, I guess, pre-SummerSlam. That is a big weekend coming up. We're going to do what we did last time. We started off with NXT UK. We're going to start off with a UK Tag Team Championship match into SmackDown, then presumably CM Punk into SummerSlam, into takeover. So we'll get to that next week. The Bomber and Jack Stars, they had their first match together as a team. I mean, they fought in action. They got the win. The Bomber, they both did their little, splashes into the corner. How did they look to you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really good. It was good. You knew obviously they were going to win, but I thought it was good, as you said, showcased them. They got their moves in, and it sets them up well as a big man, little man tag team. So.
Okay. Blair Davenport.
I was waiting for this. I thought you might just ignore it.
Blair Davenport defeated Xia Brookside by kneeing the crap out of her face. Post-match drill claw for no reason whatsoever. What a bitch.
Well, maybe Xia Brookside will have to change her name. How dare she come from a wrestling family?
That's the reason why. Yeah, that's the reason why I had to watch the Iron Man match today, because I watched that on Thursday. I'm like, I can't take this. This is terrible. This episode sucks. I'm not watching it ever again.
No, I mean, they've really put Blair Davenport over strong. I mean, they really have. from stuff backstage to this match. And as you say, when she won the match clean, I thought, okay, fair enough. But to then do the move again after the match and really, as the exclamation point, I mean, they are putting her over big, and like you could see, it won't be too long until she's heading towards Mako Satomura. And again, that's the sort of match that if there were fans there, that's a big match for NXT UK. So hopefully, here's hoping.
All right, so staying in the women's division, Isla Dawn put a watch in the box. It was a video package from, in back wherever Isla Dawn hangs out. And there was video highlights in the midst of all of this of Amelia McKenzie. Now, I don't recall Amelia's watch being taken during their match where this whole freaky thing happened with Isla Dawn and Amelia McKenzie. McKenzie got the win, which was not the story of that match. That Isla did something, but what? Any word on what this watch was and why it's being kept in that little case now?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just a kleptomaniac. I don't know. I really don't know, but I will honestly say, and I've said it before, I mean, it was obviously creepy and all the stuff with Isla Dawn, but she's the sort of character I could see translating across to the main NXT to have a wee go and see, because she comes across as she lives her gimmick. But it's very, very freaky. I'm surprised they're putting her back with Amelia McKenzie. I thought she might have been moving elsewhere. But as you say, it's one of those freaky things. We're almost having like the wee shrine and burying the watch and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hoping they were going to come back to this at some point, because that was back when Randy Orton was still on Raw. So I guess past 7 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it was. I was hoping they were doing something because they set that up so perfectly in ring. And that, get these two together. Yeah, screw it. And then one more thing with the women's division. Stevie Turner had some words for Miko Satomura. I couldn't understand a damn thing she was saying, but it looks like that's going to be happening in the near future. It's not going to be next week. We got a jam-packed show next week.
Yeah.
I don't think we can put Miko and Stevie on that one, but it looks like that's going to be up next for the champ. Yeah.
There was a lot of focus in this episode, as you said, on the women's division between the Blair Davenport match, and you had Isla Dawn on it. You had Amal and Nina Samuels going at each other. You had Aoife and talking about Jenny. You had Stevie Turner and Mako. It was everything.
Yeah, and let's get right to this, Gary. Nina Samuels.
I thought she was taking on John Cena there for a minute.
Yeah, she's fighting John Cena. You know what the funny thing was? I tried to take my stick figures and put them onto Ryan's graphics, but I don't have the computer capability of doing it. I thought that'd be funny. Try to help Ryan out a little bit, but apparently Nina Samuels was pissed off. I guess Amal was taking too long in the makeup chair, in the hairdresser chair, whatever chair that was going on there.
I know the feeling. That happens to me often.
I get yelled at all the time for taking too much time in the salon. So I can understand this feud. I have a vested interest in this. Who do you got? This is actually an interesting matchup too, regardless of the situation.
Yeah, especially with them both being heels, it's kind of a strange one. I would imagine everybody, you would assume that Nina Samuels wins it, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure, because Amal's been kind of getting a wee bit of a push and a wee bit of kind of an aggressive side to her. So you could as easily see them because letting her win, because Nina Samuels can take the loss and still be the same. So.
Yeah, both of them coming off of losses. Now, last time we saw, Nina Samuels won. I think it was an inaction, or she fought somebody. I think it was Aaliyah James. But she lost her feud to Zaya Brookside, where she had to be the servant for a month. So she's coming off, a lost feud, and then Amal just challenged for the women's championship. She lost to Miko. So both of them all coming off a loss. They both need a win. We got some John Smith, some heel on heel action right now. This is. I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna go with them all. I like the whole French. I was a fan of Rene Dupree back then too. French great heels. Going way back to the Rougeos. They weren't even French. They were just French-Canadian going back to the Rougeos. Flash Morgan. Flash Morgan Webster. Did to Wolfgang what Gallus has been doing to everybody else. The old fight across the aisle.
Heard around the world.
I challenge you to a duel and then run like hell. So we got Flash Morgan Webster and Wolfie going at it. 2 NXT UK originals. I know you're going Subculture, right?
Yeah, I can't go. It's one of those things. I don't care if he loses or not. I'll pick him.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But although I will say the one thing that would make me think he might not is because Wolfgang is in this Heritage Cup 8-man tournament.
Yeah.
And Webster's not.
Yeah.
So whether they give Wolfgang the win or whether Sam Gradwell comes out and costs him the match maybe might work as well. But I think it'll link into that somewhere. So
yeah, Flash Morgan Webster's going to win this match. It's going to be by a cheating or whatever. It's not going to be a straight up hit him with the shooting star. And then we actually was announced that we have a number 1 contenders tournament for the Heritage Cup. So we're going to have 7 matches consecutively of the British round style match. They announced 8 competitors. Noam Dar and Mark Andrews. They draw the number 1 spot here. They're going to be getting at it first in the first round. Noam Dar, I believe, made it to the second round of the original tournament. Mark Andrews was not in it, but Mark Andrews did bring up that the last time these two guys fought, they were both carried out on stretchers for legitimate injuries. So these two have a pass. That was.
Yeah, I can't wait for that match. I know it's obviously next week. I literally cannot wait. I think it's going to be. They're 2 of my favorite wrestlers to watch on NXT UK. Although looking at the brackets and looking at who's in the tournament, I was trying to kind of pick my way through and say, right, who'll win, who'll win. There's 2 matches I think that are quite straightforward to say who'll win, and there's 2 that aren't. And I could see. No, I think Noam Dar will go over.
Yeah, I got Noam. Of course, I got Noam Dar winning this thing. And it sets up good with another match with Tyler Bate. Now, here's the question. And this is the question I'm going to ask you next week going into the Tag Team Championship match. Okay, so we have 7 consecutive weeks of British rounds matches where Tyler Bate has to do nothing. He has got nothing going on. I think they can win the tag titles next week. So that's going to be something that we're going to discuss. That's just a big wrench in that whole match. I think Pretty Deadly is in trouble. But Gary, I'm actually going to do the switch with you. We're going to go from the NXT UK version. We're going to flip us over to the stateside version because one of the things going on tonight on NXT is that Ilya Dragunov will be at the Capitol Wrestling Center. And I get the feeling that the big man is going to be not too far behind him. I would
imagine so. This is the way definitely they introduce them to the crowd to the crowd stateside, particularly Ilya, who's not been across. As you say, I would imagine Walter will not be too far behind them, and there'll be plenty of chops and plenty of red marks on Ilya's chest, I would imagine, just to kind of make that point. And obviously build up towards their match. But I was really pleased to see that there was that cross promotion of it, the NXT UK getting that wee bit of a rub on the main show.
Yeah, so they have tonight and they have next Tuesday to do some fun with these 2 guys now that they're both stateside. And so we're looking forward to that. That's that match. I said it Monday on the Daily Wrestling News Show. This match, not a show stealer, guy. This is going to be a weekend stealer. Like, this is going to be absolutely nuts. It's probably going to be match 2 or 3. You can't put this before Cross and Joe. Yeah. But this is going to be something that, just like Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate did. They shocked the world at that takeover in Chicago all those years ago for the UK Championship. And I think they're going to do it again.
As you said, I do think it's just going to be, right, you've got your 20, 25 minutes, boys. Away you go. And
knock yourself out. And the good thing is, Ilya Dragunov has got the size and the age. He can lose this match and not get fired. So, good for him. Gary, thank you so much for staying up late with us. I know we're back live as we're not pre-taped. I know that means it's back to late nights with you.
Yep.
So we do appreciate you staying up late. Thank you very much, Gary. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe.
I shall try. Talk to you soon.
All right, so we're going to bring back in John Smith. We're going to bring back in John DeConnie. We're going to stay with NXT.
I always enjoy that my name is plastered over Gary's face whenever he starts.
Actually, you'll like what he commented. I don't know if you saw in the private shot. I believe now the new WWE stands for Walk with Escobar. How do you feel about that, John Smith?
Sounds good to me, but he also said that Escobar puts him to sleep.
Yeah.
So
Sleeper hold. That's John the kind of saying. You got to put the hand over the ear and. So the fate of the way was in Johnny's hands last Tuesday night. He knows what's best for Indy. His focus is on it. Has anyone seen Austin Theory? Did they just forget that he ran? Something's going on with that one, John Smith. But Johnny and Dexter, they main evented the Love or Leave Her match, reminiscent of Shane and Test all those years ago at SummerSlam '99. Back then, though, Test won the match. I remember Stephanie running down the aisle. I get to be my boy. That didn't last too much longer after that. But Test and Stephanie got together. This one, it's getting a little more complicated.
Yeah, it did get a little more complicated because Johnny ended up winning off of the distraction that Dexter Lumis was distracted by Indy and Candice and all sorts of stuff going on, and he ends up taking a one final beat DDT after a hell of a match. So that Johnny has that look on his face like he's not happy, but he did what he needed to do. You know, and Indy's all like upset and blah, blah, blah. They're on their way up the ramp, and Indy just turns around and runs down into his arms and tackles him and just starts making out with him. So we all thought that Johnny was going to win because we thought this was going to keep going, but I guess it'll keep going as like Dexter Lumis being the fifth wheel, you know?
Yeah, there's going to be Indy's being that teenager. This is Romeo and Juliet, right? They're going against what mom and dad are saying, what the world is telling them not to do. Index, right? James Wheeler, he's a little bit nervous about how NXT is going to turn out tonight. I think we'll get to that in a second. I think I know what he's talking about. But last week, Samoa Joe must now be accompanied by security until TakeOver, and then Karrion Kross came out to piss off Joe and then ran, in which Joe decided to beat the crap out of said security guards that are supposed to keep him safe. So that was with that. That was the only pretty much build up for that. They are going to main event TakeOver 36. Hopefully there'll be more to come with that tonight and next Tuesday. John the Connie, sing it with me.
You know, your voice is in my head all the time. I've got a new neighbor here, and she just recently took them out. But for the first 3 weeks she was here, she had those white braids down past her ass, and every time she went by my window, I would start singing Hit Row out the window. Thank God she never turned over her shoulder. But for a second there, I thought I had B-Fab living next door.
They had a match against Legado del Fantasma.
So, anywho, yes, Top Dollar and Ashante would take on Wilde and Mendoza. And as most of this whole feud has been about, it wasn't about a win or a loss because this one ended in a DQ win for Hit Row when they had a really good match for about 9 minutes. And then when it looked like Hit Row was going to make the comeback, Top Dollar got the hot tag. And Santos said, screw it, and just whacked him with a chair from outside. Legado would then jump in the ring and clear everyone but Swerve. They would punish Swerve for a little while, rip his diamond-encrusted grills out of his mouth. Then B-Fab would get back in and take out Wilde with a chair from behind, and that would flip everything around, and Hit Row would retake the ring. And they would end, the ceremony is there with Swerve going back to his kill shot days and hitting the JML driver on Mendoza. But Santos was already up at the top of the ramp, just kind of flashing the grills. And so this one is still obviously far from over between these two factions.
And it just got so much more personal. Who steals a man's grill? I mean, like, how? Like, it's like rappers don't even do this to each other. Like, that's
who reaches in another man's mouth?
Yeah, exactly. Especially these
Mick Foley.
Days. It's
Mick Foley.
Good point. Good point.
But so a line has been crossed here. This has gotten severely personal between Santos and Swerve. To be continued. Cannot wait for that TakeOver match.
I think Santos is going to have that thing melted down into something and have it around his neck.
There you go.
It'd be gross if you wore it, right?
Just the grill around his neck, yeah, with like spinach sticking out of it.
He wore it. Like, he actually wore it. Like,
Gross!
Oh God!
There was a pre-match discussion with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. They're at a tag team match coming up. Both of them said they're men of their word. Each of them have each other's back. John Smith, how'd that turn out?
Well, Cameron Grimes has to wrestle in the Butler outfit, complete with the white gloves and everything. You know, he didn't even he was playing it up, like pulling it out and stuff. He wasn't even like taking the jacket off. I love it. So he starts getting double teamed on by GYV and then LA Knight for the hot tag. Nope, jumps off the apron. So then Grimes ends up, eating some double teams and loses the match. And then we get Ted DiBiase coming down telling him, you need to do something about this because I'm losing respect for you. But I'm not.
Yeah, DiBiase's okay. So as I was saying earlier, with Rey Mysterio DiBiase's never been a face either. So this is weird how DiBiase's actually showing. I'm waiting for something out of DiBiase to screw him over, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. I guess LA Knight actually got DiBiase to the point where he's in the light. John DeConnie, there was a match where the Undisputed Era, the other half, right? Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. You chose to. This is normally a match. Probably just fast forward. We all expected Roddy to win. You wanted to take this match, though.
Yeah, because these two, former buddies and probably real life buddies, they tore it down for about 12 plus minutes. And I just thought it was very apropos and poignant that the match ended with Roddy Strong hitting his vertical suplex into the double knee backbreaker that he calls the end of Heartache. But as we all know, it was now just the beginning of the heartache for Bobby Fish, who would be let go immediately thereafter. And the Diamond Mine would stand above Fish's fallen body afterwards. And 40% of the people in the ring at that time would be unemployed a few days later.
Yeah, Tyler Rust, Diamond Mine lost Tyler Rust as well. So now it's just Roddy Malcolm Bivens, and then Ichiro Suzuki. No,
Hachiman.
Suzuki Matsui, right?
His name is
two Yankees. I know it's the two Yankees.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know if he wrestles. So he hasn't wrestled yet. We haven't seen him wrestle. So who knows? Maybe just Roddy's just out on an island right now. But he's he's got a cruiserweight championship coming up because Sheila accepted Roddy's challenge. He said later in the night. So we're gonna eventually have a cruiserweight championship match. Hopefully that takeover. That's going to be a doozy of a match. Ridge Holland. Again, miraculous comeback. I'm so happy to see him. He was back in ring. He defeated Ike Manjiro with a side driver. Pete Dunne post-match said they're the three most dangerous men in NXT and dared people to prove them wrong. We had a little bit of personality show through from Zoe Stark as we find out she's not a real big fan of Japanese cuisine. Io seemed to like the waitress more than Zoe because they speak the same language. I really enjoyed this. It's a different side of Zoe. Here I am, thinking Zoe Stark was just this no personality, American gladiator, wannabe, and she had me laughing. She was funny. She was good. She was bigger than ever. So there's an effort going between Io and Zoe. Zoe picked up the tab as he should. Rookie should always pick up the tab for the veteran. So going forward with those two, those two they don't have really any other tag teams right now. They should be fighting Casey and Kaden at some point.
Yeah.
Frankie Monet does not like losing. If that group is going to work between her, Robert Stone, and Jessica Mia, then it's all going to be at her lead. Robert Stone and Jessica Mia both were on board with that. In the final first round matchup of the breakout tournament, Super Breakout tournament for those old school Atari fans. Super Breakout. There you go.
Jesus.
Trey Baxter defeated Joe Gacy. Shout out, I Spy a Jersey guy. I didn't know that. Joe Gacy, I couldn't hear where he's from. We looked him up. He said Franklinville. Sounds like South Jersey to me because I've never heard it up here in the north. So Trey Baxter, after a 450 stomp from the top rope to a break to advance in the breakout tournament, He's apparently going right back in the ring tonight. It's going to be Odyssey Jones taking on Trey Baxter in the first of the 2 semifinal matches. So, John Smith, I believe last week you had no idea you wanted to flip a coin. You going to flip the coin again? Or now that you've seen both these guys in action, can you make an educated guess here?
Which 2 guys do we got this week again?
Trey Baxter and Odyssey Jones.
Odyssey Jones.
All right.
Yeah, he's my pick to win it all.
Odyssey Jones, okay. John LeConnie.
Yeah, last week I was thinking it would really be funny if the 2 big guys did not win here in the semis, and we got Trey Baxter and what's his name, Carmelo something or other.
Carmelo Hayes, yeah.
There you go. But it definitely looks like Mark Henry 2.0 is going to take this one.
I'm going Trey. Just out of spite, you think Hunter's going to be spiteful? Exactly. You're going to have Trey Baxter and Carmelo Hayes in the finals just to be spiteful?
Would make sense.
Also, we have, as they were promoting last night on Monday Night Raw for tonight, Raquel Gonzalez. She is going to break her silence after being kicked in the face by her former friend, Dakota Kai. Big Mommy Cool, like I said, I can throw through the barbershop window. It looks like they're headed towards TakeOver. We actually have a match in the women's division. We got Ember Moon and Saray. I like this matchup. John Smith, as your senior NXT consultant here, correspondent, excuse me. This is the only match really to pick. So who do you got in this one, other than the tournament? But this is established wrestlers.
Sorry about Ember's luck, man. Yeah, I got Saray winning this one. Ember's just like the resident, jobber, but not. It's weird. She doesn't win anymore.
Well, she lost her tag team partner. She was on a roll with Shotzi, but then she got plucked. So, John LeConnie, is this maybe a way that Ember can turn it around? I believe Saray is still undefeated.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't think it would come here because, like John said, Ember's kind of a gatekeeper at this point. So it's going to be nice to have her name on Saray's resume with a victory here for Saray.
All right, James, breaking some news. Apparently, let's just scrap this altogether. Ember Moon not medically cleared. She would be replaced by Dakota Kai.
Well, that makes things a whole lot different.
Dakota Kai versus Saray.
So you would think Hunter wouldn't beat his own championship contender on his own show. So maybe this is where Saray gets her first L.
You would think that, and we all know Dakota Kai is probably the better wrestler anyway. So I'm never going to go against Dakota. I got Dakota Kai next Sunday, so screw it. John Smith.
I got Saray.
Sorry about your damn luck. And then finally, we have, I don't know if this is what James Wheeler was alluding to about the night, is nervous about the night not ending well. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, I believe they did this. They had a face-to-face at some point. Christian Regal, Mr. Regal, he will be mediating. One of the two. I can't remember. Mediating's NXT and moderating's AEW. I don't remember.
Master. Oh wait, no, never mind.
No. Chris Masters is not here anymore. Any predictions on how this is going to go? Because I have one.
Just not well and not orderly.
There you go, John Smith.
What?
Any predictions on how that's going to go? The face-off? No, none. You know what? I'm tired. I can hear Regal. I'm tired of the two of you. This is impossible. One of you has to go. Loser leaves town match. That's how you end this feud. That's how you get Adam Cole either out of the company or onto the main roster. And that's where I see that going. So going from Tuesday Night Wrestling's new resident, household guy to their former one, Impact. That was a weak transition. I'll be better. I'll be back. Going Impact. Going Impact now. John LeConnie, big 6-man tag team match involving the Elite, along with the Elite Hunter and two guys that hate each other. How'd this one turn out?
surprisingly well for the team that you would have thought would implode. Eddie and Sami Callihan pretty much I don't want to say they got along, but they didn't come to blows, so that was a big positive for them. In fact, Sami would pile drive the champion, Kenny Omega, on the edge of the apron. I think more to just kind of get him out of the way because, as we all know, if the Elite was going to take a loss, it certainly was not going to be Kenny, and, well, by God, it was not going to be Doc Gallows either. So this one would end with a Boston knee party to poor Karl Anderson's head and a 1-2-3 for Eddie. And afterwards, Eddie would get attacked by W. Morrissey, and apparently no one felt like helping him out.
Yeah, Eddie's without friends all of a sudden. Normally he's got, like, Rich Swann, but I guess Swann's buddy with Willie Mack right now. He normally has a friend. Yeah. Figured maybe Hernandez would go help him out because I know Morrissey threatened Alicia a couple of weeks ago. I figured maybe Hernandez would go help out. I guess not. John DeConnie sticking with you in heartbreaking fashion. Jordan Grace Rachel Ellering against Fire and Flava, and that's done too.
Yeah. So Jordan and Rachel would hit that like magic killer into the boss woman slam on Kiera for the win there. But the story really was that afterwards, Tasha would stand by and watch as who I originally had in my notes as who the hell is this broad?
Yeah.
Savannah Evans would beat the living hell out of Kiera, give her a big old work boot, Timberland to the face, and a Samoan drop. And apparently, Fire and Flavor might be moving on just without Kiera because, as we know, she is on her way out.
Yeah, she already announced that she was leaving after these tapings, after whatever these episodes. But then they set it up nicely because, for Homecoming, we didn't really discuss this because it led into Homecoming. We weren't on air. Falaba asked them, to go to Homecoming with him as a joke, as kids at school and whatnot. It was funny. And Kiera thought she was talking about her, but he was talking about Tasha. So that's how we got Fala and Flava, the greatest team name in that whole tournament. But then when they lost in the first round, Kiera's like, "See, you told you, you have a partner, you good, you have it." And Tasha's like, "Yeah, I got myself a good partner." And Kiera thought she was thinking about her, but she was talking about Savannah something wrong. What was it? Savannah Evans.
Evans, yeah.
Lacey's cousin, maybe. So it was funny how they, the play on words here. And then Tasha, the Jersey girl from Newark, they're tough to trust. Jersey girls are tough. They're tough to get along with. But it looks like Tasha's moving forward with Savannah now in the tag team division. Speaking of tag team division, Violet by Design interrupted the Elites. Look at the balls on those guys. During a backstage interview to let the Good Brothers know that they will be enacting their rematch clause for the tag team championships at Emergence. A little heel-on-heel action, John Smith. Violet by Design and the Elite and the Good Brothers. You like that?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Turns out Rich Swann and Willie Mack are in the match as well. So there goes. I got so excited. And then when Violet by Design went to go to Demora's office to let them know that the Good Brothers agreed, Demora's already meeting with Rich Swann and Willie Mack about it. So Swann and Max, since they defeated Violet by Design the week prior, they were added to. So we got a triple team match for the tag titles next Friday at Emergence. The King and the Queen of Impact were interrupted by Mickie James again. It's like it's the Twilight Zone. Mickie had a contract for Empower to defend the Knockouts title against Melina, of all people. So Melina now has graced the Impact ring through the Forbidden Door. Someone's got to put a lock on that Forbidden Door. I think too many companies are in Impact. And I think Impact needs to start fighting back. So, but this time it's for Deonna to go to Impact. The door does open both ways. Deonna will be going over there. She will be defending the title against Melina at Empower at the end of the month. So I am sold. I will be watching that. And going from Deonna to her boyfriend, not on screen, but off screen, real life. Her boyfriend, Macklin, defeated Inaction with a Michinoku driver. Post-match attack by Macklin on Inaction was thwarted by Petey Williams. So maybe that match probably be an Emergence as well. It'd be a good way to get Macklin on the pay-per-view. Some guy named Kelvin, and I believe they spelled it with a K, reported Taylor Wilde as a suspicious person. So that's where Taylor's been. She's been stuck in Canada, where she's from, because she got reported as a suspicious person. So that was 2 months of her life. Taylor immediately jumped to the conclusion, with no evidence at all, that it was Caleb and Tennille. So since she just beat Caleb, she wants Tennille next week. So on an interesting episode of All About Me, impromptu guest host Scott Demore explained that Taylor Wilde, the whole Taylor Wilde stuck in Canada thing, will be dropped. The investigation will be dropped as long as she gets a match with Tennille Dashwood. So that will be happening on Thursday night. John DeConnie, as our senior Impact correspondent in this Knockouts match, who do you got?
I'm not even sure we get a finish here, because I think this, they like to put 9-10 matches on their card, so I can see this one going to emergence. But if we get a victory here, I think maybe Tennille pulls it out with some kind of heel tactic that lets it keep going.
Yeah, it's all about her. John Smith?
I like Taylor Wilde by countout. I think Tennille just walks away from the match, honky-tonk style.
Okay.
Could see that.
How big's belt loops do you think Taylor will have this week? You could probably fit, they were pretty big.
It's to put championship belts through it to hold her pants.
Exactly. It's exactly how big they were. There you go.
I just assumed she wasn't a very good swimmer, and that's where she laced a pool noodle through those.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's patent that idea. Okay, so what's the time? Is it 7 o'clock? Gotcha.
Pool float pants.
John DeConnie, there was a number 1 contenders match for the X Division title.
Yes, there sure was. It was a 4-way. It was Jake Something, Daivari, Rohit, and Trey. And Jake Something would come out of it with the black hole slam on Daivari for the win. Afterwards, I'm going. We'll see you next time, man. So yeah, we get a we get a nice match coming up between Jake and Josh Alexander, and then afterwards, backstage, Rohit has a complete meltdown. Matt Cardona has to tell him to cool his jets. Not sure where that one's going, but this should be a good, at least, X Division Championship match coming up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was reading the private chat. Did you get to Rohit and Matt Cardona?
Yeah, Rohit and Cardona backstage.
So we learned that Josh is going to take on Jake at Emergence, right? We got that.
Yep.
It's going to be on Friday, August 20th, going up against SmackDown and then up against CM Punk's debut. So good job, Impact. There you go. You think AEW will let him know, listen, we're debuting CM Punk, don't put a pay-per-view on a Friday night. And
is that confirmed?
No, but I guarantee you that building will burn to the ground if CM Punk does not show up on Friday night. There's no reason. That would be the biggest troll job of all time if CM Punk does not show up next Friday during Rampage.
Oh, man.
And then he shows up Saturday in Vegas.
I would love to see CM Punk get plucked away by WWE. Here's $5 million. Don't go there. I would love to see that.
All right, so we actually have Josh Alexander going up against Daivari. John DeConnie, is that where we left you off?
Yeah, I did not get to that one. Yeah, so Daivari had some words for him backstage. So they're gonna. I don't know if they're calling this, an eliminator or whatever. Basically, Josh told him, hey, if you want a shot at the title, because Daivari told him, you're just lucky I didn't come out of that because I would take that title. I said, well, if you want a shot at the title, you face me next week. You win, you get a shot at the title.
There you go. Simple as that.
And I do not think Daivari will win.
No, I don't think so either. John Smith?
Yeah, no. I got Josh.
Chris Bay defeated Juice Robinson after the Art of Finesse. Chris Bay was given the Bullet Club shirt. It is official. So this week we got the Bullet Club going up against FinJuice in a tag team match. John DeConnie. Forbidden doors wide open. One Impact.
I think Bullet Club's got to take this one. They got a loss in their first unofficial match together, or their first match together that wasn't under the Bullet Club banner officially. So now that they are Bullet Club, I think they take down Finjuice.
All right, Jocelyn.
Yeah, give me the Bullet Club. And they had 3 really nice drawings there, and then Chris Bay is like, he's phoned it in.
Yes, you phoned it in on Chris. It could have been a stick figure, though. I guess it could be worse.
Yeah.
Then what we have Thursday, the big battle royal. The winner gets Kenny Omega at Emergence. I guess CM Punk could show up here. You know that it is. The only names I recall, I didn't look this up. Maybe I should have. Nobody looked it up for me. I know Sami Callihan's in it. I know Moose is in it, and I know Chris Sabin is in it. So other than that, don't know how many people. There's probably going to be women involved. And Impact loves to do that. I'm sure Jordan Gray's going to toss out a couple guys. John Smith, those are the 3. I don't know. Maybe it's probably one of those 3. I think they would have announced. I don't know. Is Morrissey going to be Eddie Edwards?
Wow.
Larry the Luster the Legend?
Nah. Is it going to be Moose again? I don't think so. Maybe they throw Sabin a bone. You know, like have him get loose to Omega.
The outcome was supposed to be. Okay, so yeah, well, Ryan Joy actually pointed that out a couple weeks ago after Sabin beat Moose at Slammiversary, that this was a build-up to get Kenny Omega and Chris Sabin together. John LeConnie.
Okay, I'd be down for that. It's not what I think is. Well, unfortunately, I had this one spoiled. I know what's going to happen here, and it's much less impressing, much more underwhelming. But I honestly, I would have originally gone with Eddie Edwards, but
all right, I'll go with Chris Sabin, although it doesn't sound like I am correct. So I'm going back to
ruining it, John.
God. All right, so gentlemen, we're gonna bid you adieu. I'm gonna play this quick message from Joe Jarzenka and the guys over the Primetime Rundown, and we will be back with Ryan Joy. So let's get this. There we go.
Those ham and eggers.
Play us in fantasy football, guys. Play us in fantasy football.
Thanks, Al. Summer Mondays are back for the Primetime Rundown as myself, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca will be coming to you with the Primetime Rundown right here on the Eastern Observer on Monday nights beginning at 7 p.m. all the way until August 30th. Make sure to join us on the following platforms.
Could Ian Schreier and Rob DeLuca look any less bored or any more bored?
You could have given them a line, you know. Maybe they're thinking about all their fantasy football leagues. They're going to be in, but not ours.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
hey, Al.
Ryan Joy, glad to have you today. I believe we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got Resurgence, which is, I guess, Emergence, but again, the Emergence.
Well, no, because Resurgence happens first.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Resurgence is this Saturday, and it's a New Japan show, and it's got 7 or 8 matches. I think they've announced 7 so far. Yeah, 7. 2 title matches, 1 big singles match featuring a Japanese star, big 10-man tag, and Jon Moxley and a mystery partner versus the Good Brothers is on the undercard of the match of the show. So we'll see who Moxley digs up for this. I'm not sure that it's going to be a real big surprise. It might be Shota Umino or something like that. I don't think it's going to be Eddie Kingston, Sami Callihan, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman. I don't think it's going to be anybody like that. So, but the main event of the show is Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Lance Archer for the IWGP United States Championship.
Yeah, and that was set up on Dynamite with all those title defenses and title changes, and then Tanahashi just showing up out of nowhere. He wanted the eventual winner, which ended up being Lance Archer. So I believe this is one of I know this is a newer championship in New Japan, but this is one of the few belts that Tanahashi's never held.
Right. Tanahashi's never held this, nor has anybody that doesn't speak English ever held this belt. This has only been, Jay White's had the belt. Kenny Omega's had the belt. So it's not been all Americans who have had the belt, but it's all been sort of, it's never been held by a Japanese guy. So this is Tanahashi coming over, trying to do that. It's fun to look at Jon Moxley and Tanahashi both on this card Typically, how New Japan works, they don't do a lot of like interview segments and promos and things like that. What they do is they set up all their angles kind of in the ring, and then they do like post-show comments and things like that. So if you got Tanahashi and you got Moxley in the same place and you've got All Out around the corner, this could be a situation where they set up that match for All Out or some other event, because Moxley pretty much called Tanahashi out on Dynamite.
Yeah, what was that? That felt kind of random to me. I don't know what Moxley has a problem. I guess he was watching the Olympics and everyone can go over there, but he can't get over there to fight Tanahashi.
Well, he just basically says, "Hey, look, I've had the belt for over a year, and the entire time I had the belt, you didn't want to fight. But as soon as I lose the belt, you want to fight for the belt." So I know it's interesting. I don't think there's any chance in the world that Lance Archer loses the IWGP United States Championship to Tanahashi. I think that's a foregone conclusion. The other championship match, well, what do you think?
Sure, yeah, I'm not betting against Archer. Keep the belt with us. Yeah.
And Jay White versus David Finlay is the semi-main event. They're technically calling it a double main event, but it's the second to last match. And this is for the Never Openweight Championship. So,
and that's been all the feud that's been happening in Impact is leading up to this match. So, do we lose Jay White after this? I'm sorry, not we. Does Travis lose Jay White on American television after this?
Oh, does Jay White go back? I'm sure Jay White's going to go back to Japan fairly soon after this, unless they have an extended Forbidden Door plan for him. I mean, I guess if he's recruiting Chris Bay from Impact, it seems like there ought to be a storyline there, in some way.
Yeah.
But no, so I don't. David Finlay's not the guy I would pick to beat Jay White. He did beat Jay White in the New Japan Cup, and it was a bracket buster for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Most everybody on the EWP that filled out a bracket got it busted because of Jay White didn't make it out of the first round or whatever. But I think he retains here. Yeah, exactly. I think all of us can raise our hand. We all picked Jay White to beat David Finlay. It didn't happen. So Jay White probably going to win here. Although if they want to do a title change, they only got two options, and this would be more likely than the Archer Tanahashi match, I think. So.
Good. And then we have going from New Japan. I don't even have a logo for this.
Well, that's all right. Oh, I should mention Moose is on this card too.
Really?
Moose is wrestling Tomohiro Ishii. I've not known that Moose has ever been wrestled on New Japan before, so this is kind of fun.
Yeah. It's nice to see the door swinging the other way, and not everybody is crowding into Impact.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Other than the Good Brothers, no one else is allowed out. What was I going to say? Where is this being held then? This is stateside, right?
Yeah, this is the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Torch at the Los Angeles Coliseum. So I think it's kind of like an annex to the bigger building that they have there. So as of this morning, I checked before the Daily Wrestling News Show this morning, there were only 4 tickets available. So this is going to be a sellout there. So
nice.
Yeah.
What is this? So is it pay-per-view or is it New Japan World? How are we going to watch? I want to kind of watch it.
Well, if you would like to watch it with Japanese commentary, you can watch it on New Japan World. If you want the English commentary, you have to watch it on Fight TV. It's $19.99. So
that's good. Stormy likes to be on TV. He got used to the camera last week. Stormy wants to put his 2 cents in. So.
And he's running.
Then we also have Triple Mania this weekend, like I said, which is Triple A. It's Mexico's version, like Bound for Glory.
Yeah. It's the big show south of the border for the entire year. Kenny Omega versus Andrade is the championship match. It's not the main event, but that's the championship match. So we'll get hopefully I can find a way to watch the match, because as of right now, I don't know how to watch Triple Mania. Last year, they did broadcast it live on Facebook, but you couldn't watch a replay. So if people figure out how to watch it, I mean, it's going to be hard to figure out. You might be able to catch it on Twitch.
Or is it on pay-per-view? Like what?
No.
No.
So the deal with AAA is that they're currently in a lawsuit with the owners of Lucha Underground, because apparently that company purchased the rights to broadcast internationally. So AAA can broadcast in Mexico, but they can't broadcast outside the country.
Gotcha.
So until this lawsuit gets resolved. So
Well, Lucha Underground's been done for how many years now?
and that's probably the issue that AAA has. Well, you're not doing anything with our
Yeah.
broadcast, so can we please get it back so we can broadcast it? Also on the undercard is Deonna Purrazzo versus Fabi Apache. It's champion versus champion, the Reyes de Reyes versus the Knockouts Championship. So, if I'm betting here, Deonna's bringing home 2 belts. Deonna 2 belts because she's got to defend the title at Empower.
Yeah, that's the problem with these future bookings. Like, how do you? It's not like this is taped ahead of time either. I guess they could screw something up. It's like, I guess they could have
Fabi Apache
just fight Melina and like for the crown of Impact or something. I guess if she loses, but she don't lose. Jersey, you kidding me?
Well, and maybe they have a triple threat match. They add Fabi to it or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. And then as Ryan, there was the big question: where's Taurus in all this?
Oh man, I don't have the full lineup here, but I don't even know if he's on the card.
All right, how about this? We'll switch it over to AEW. We'll bring John DeConnie and John Smith back in, and I guess as we're daydreaming about other stuff, if you want to look that up, let everybody know.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's a good place for Taurus to be on fire. So going with AEW first Dynamite, and then we had a new show debuting on Friday night. We have Rampage, and we'll get to that in a second. As soon as I find the nameplates. There we go. Ryan, you wanted to pick this match. The roller coaster of emotions John Smith must have been going through for Malachi Black to just completely run over Cody Rhodes. Hit what used to be called the Black Mass. Doesn't have a new name yet. Cody was about to call it a day, done and done, and then Malachi Black, that's push-ups for me.
So to go back to the match real quick, John wasn't worried for too long because the match was only 4.5 minutes long. So,
I was fast forwarding anyway. So
right. So for John, the match didn't even start probably. Maybe wanted to see the outcome. Anyway, it was like you said, Cody went through a table on the outside. It was a black mass and a victory for Malachi Black. Cody makes like he's going to retire and stuff like that, which he has said before that he will retire early, but it wasn't going to be this early. So like you kind of see the writing on the wall here. Malachi Black comes back, gives him another beatdown, and off we go. Cody, I'm sure, is going to do his reality show, and 3-4 months from now, we'll have a big stipulation match when he returns with black hair and the red logo.
So yeah, what's coming up November is Full Gear.
Full
right?
Gear.
Full Gear.
Yeah.
I think it'll be after Full Gear.
Full Gear's in St. Louis. I would say it might be after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
so we're
right
gonna
after.
be Cody free for a little bit. Then you think, right? That'll make John happy.
There you go, John. Relish this
All
time.
John DeConnie. I guess we are in. I guess the third. Fifth mester, quintmester of Jericho's labor, trying to make a pregnancy joke out of this, and it's just failing miserably. So the third labor was last week against the Juice. The Juice was loose in Jacksonville.
That's right. We had Lionheart Chris Jericho, although he didn't go back to that old gimmick, but we had Hoovy Juice. We dug up Hoovy Juice from God knows where, and the stipulation of this one was that for Chris Jericho to win, he had to hit a top rope maneuver. So they had a little bit of a plotting match. It certainly didn't look like 1997 all over again, but it wasn't terrible. But they did their business for about 9.5 minutes, and Jericho hit a Judas effect, and then just kind of like stared down at Hoovy, and the referee told him, I can't count him out. You got to go to the top rope. She pointed to the top buckle. So Jericho said, okay, jumped up to the top buckle, waited for Hoovy to come back to his feet, hit another Judas effect off the top turnbuckle. Then he got his 1, 2, 3, and then he got walloped by Wardlow. And, of course, MJF was on commentary, and he got up after the match, made his way, not quite ringside, but, center stage so he could get on the hard camera. and announced that, yes, the fourth labor of Jericho will be Wardlow, and MJF will this time be at ringside. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of chicanery going on there.
Yeah, he's going to be ringside. He's going to be a referee. He's going to be a special enforcer. There's a little bit of confusion there. I think he's just going to be at ringside, though. I got that match completely wrong. I just thought Jericho just had to hit a move.
He's
He
going to
hit a move off the top rope. I'm like, all right, that was dumb.
He's going to be handcuffed to China.
Yeah, he had to be handcuffed to China. Yeah, I got that match completely wrong. Fuji! Good job, China. Ryan, we finally had a TNT Championship match. Finally, a belt that's not New Japan, a mid-card belt that's not New Japan, defended on AEW.
Yeah, and it was Miro versus Lee Johnson, and we all picked the match correctly. I don't think there's any chance that Lee Johnson was going to walk away with the TNT Championship. So we all, everybody gets the point for that, even though it's not a point, no points on the line. But in any event, the match went a lot longer than we thought. It even had a picture-in-picture break. So the match went way longer than anybody expected. We thought it'd be 3 or 4 moves and a game over, but it was many moves. And even Miro actually was on defense for a while, but ultimately came down to a game over and a successful defense for Miro. Referee had to stop the match.
Yeah, it was weird. We had that back. I think we got both matches right between Malachi Black and Miro. We got both. But if we were to pick which one would have been a minute or 4 minutes and what would have been, the commercial break. But Brody Lee, God bless Brody Lee. He's got the record. He dropped Cody in a minute 30. So,
well, I have an update on Black Taurus for you.
Oh, nice. What do we got?
So it is a triple threat match for the AAA Tag Team Championships. Lucha Bros defending against El Hijo del Vikingo and Laredo Kid versus Taurus and a mystery partner. Could it be? Could it be Crazy Steve?
It has to be. It has to be. Now I definitely need to watch this. Now we got Kenta and Phoenix down. Oh my god, we gotta find this out. Hopefully my Gangsta, my Venom app, whatever my streaming service gets it. That'd be a lot of fun. John Smith, I know you ran through some hard times with the recent WWE releases, not just this past one, but the ones from before. But you got them back. 2.0 rules.
They'll always be Everrise to me, but yeah,
it has to be. Yeah.
But I was so hyped up to see them on here, especially going up against Moxley and Kingston. We knew what was going to happen, and I just was hoping that it wasn't a straight up squash, and it wasn't. There was a commercial break involved.
Yeah, Everrise got a commercial. Holy crap!
Yeah, and the highlight of the match was when Matt was in front of Sting. He's like, "Oh my God, you're the real Sting! Oh my God!" And then he gets destroyed by Darby through the ropes on the outside, and then comes back in. He gets Daniel Garcia is the one that takes the pin. Actually, he took Moxley's move, and then Darby's coffin drop, and 1, 2, 3. But it was just great to see Everrise. You want to taste?
We forgot to pick the fourth labor of Jericho here. Is anyone taking Wardlow? Now Wardlow's. I mean, I know Ryan Joy. You're on vacation. A lot of records were not kept. I'm sure you're building your database as we speak. Wardlow's got to be close to, if not undefeated, in 2021. So this is actually as underwhelming of a surprise as Wardlow was. Especially after Juventud Guerrera and Nick Gage. This is going to be tough for Jericho. So Ryan, you think?
No, Jericho's definitely going to win. Wardlow did lose in the cage match to Hager earlier this year. Other than that, I think he might be pretty much undefeated.
Gotcha. John Connie?
Yeah, I think maybe MJF gets fed up and just, this ends in a DQ, so Wardlow doesn't actually have to take a pin. Jericho wins. Jericho gets to move on to the next, the final labor being MJF. But, I don't necessarily see Wardlow counting the lights.
But don't you have to count the lights in AEW? Isn't like the whole isn't that their thing? Like there's always a pinfall, John Smith?
Pretty much. But no, I like the idea of some sort of disqualification by MJF getting involved. But Jericho's going to win either way, I think.
All right. Adam Page broke up with the Dark Order. He wants to go it alone against Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks after what happened with their elimination match. I guess he felt he left the Dark Order down. He'd just rather do it himself, not put whatever. So later on in the night, Adam Page stuffed down our throats. Adam Page twice in one night. In-ring interview interrupted by the Elite. Kenny called Adam Page a loser, so Page started swinging and got his ass kicked. Dark Order tried to come out, but as per Page's wishes, Grayson and Uno held him back. They didn't help. Nope, doesn't want it. And they walked away. But here comes Frankie Kazarian. He tried to help, but that didn't work out as well. He got his ass kicked also. So this leads to a couple of things. The first things first, we got the Elite and six-man tag team match, or as some would call it, trios. They're going against Dante Martin and the Sedans. Ryan, who are the Sedans?
The Seidels. Yeah. That's a new one for me. I don't think I've ever had that.
If we start a band, that's going to be our band name, Dante Martin and the Sedans.
who will be Dante Martin? Is that you, John?
I think Ryan Joy just named his fantasy football team.
There you go.
All right, anyone, the Elite, right? Anyone going to go against the Elite on this one?
Oh, yeah.
The only way I see it going the other way is if they're trying to set up the Seidels versus the Bucks at the pay-per-view, but that doesn't seem like a very all-out type of match. So,
and also staying with the Elites, we're gonna have an Impact Tag Team Championship match. I tried to figure out a way to segue this or whatnot, but actually the Good Brothers, they're going to give Uno and Grayson a shot at the Impact Tag Team Championships. I would love nothing more than to see Uno and Grayson win this just to get the match with the K.
True.
John Connie, who do you got?
I think the Good Brothers hold on to it here, but yeah, there's a lot of entertainment to be had if those belts walk through the forbidden door and don't come back. That's a lot of fun, but unfortunately, I think it's just going to be the Good Brothers. It's just going to be a Magic Killer and a 1, 2, 3.
All right, John Smith, the Good Brothers gonna knock that stupid smug off Uno's face?
Yeah, you got Good Brothers take it, I think. Yeah.
All right, Ryan Joy. The one thing I've been saying for a long time now, and he really just hasn't been in the ring that well. Like Stu Grayson's really good. I'm a real big fan of Stu Grayson.
Stu Grayson's really good, and he is a little bit like Doc Gallows in the sense that he's protected. He's not ever the guy who takes the pin. Even in the 10-man tag, he got counted out, which is remarkable for AEW to begin with. So I think the Good Brothers take this, and I think Evil Uno takes the Magic Killer in the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now, staying with this, in a related story, Christian Cage, he defeated the Blade, and due to Adam Page not being allowed to compete or losing that elimination match, Christian Cage, my guy, where is he? There he is right there. Schamberger. Christian Cage is now the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. Outwork everybody. Christian said he will be in Pittsburgh to get his, what does it say? Christian has his eyes on the Elite. Yep, there you go. So I don't know if he'll be there Wednesday or Friday or screw it, let's do both. That's what I say.
Well, Jungle Boy is still the #1 contender based on the ranking system, but he's had a match recently, so Christian Cage is #2.
Why would they put Christian? Why would they do that then?
I don't know.
Why would they have Christian Cage? Are you screwing me?
I'm looking at the rankings.
Don't pull a sedan on me, Ryan. Leave me alone. Christian's #1 contender.
The sedans. That's awesome.
Dante Martin and the Sedans.
Andrade El Idolo got rejected by the Lucha Brothers, even though Andrade got them first-class treatment in the week prior. So Chavo Or then Fuego del Sol to beat him up and send a message to the Lucha Bros. So that was kind of let's say a little bit about that. The guy from America Top Team, he's going to be coming next week for Lance Archer, and he's not coming alone. Ryan Joy, I don't remember. I believe it was John DeConnie. I believe it was last Thursday on the Daily Wrestling News Show. You guys rattled off the list of America's Top Team. Anybody not named Bobby Lashley going to show up? Who are our options here? Because I know Bobby's still on Top Team.
I think the only option is King Mo.
Yeah.
King Mo currently under contract with MLW, so it'd be another forbidden door type of thing. But he's able to wrestle elsewhere. I saw King Mo wrestle down here in Florida at First CCW like 3 months ago, so he'd be the guy I'd pick.
All right, John Smith, maybe I missed this. When did Mo beat Mabel to become king?
1997.
Really? Wow.
It was at a house show.
Oh, it was at a house show. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, Men on a Mission reference. All right. I Spy a Jersey Girl. Nailed it. Layla Hirsch defeated the Bunny with the cross arm bar to earn an NWA Women's title match. Camille was in attendance. There was kind of a face-to-face, more of a face-to boobs, I guess, as I would say, an honest trailer, boobs. But yeah, there is a very giant Gonzalez versus Rey Mysterio feud in this. They will be going at it at NWA Empower, Camille and Layla Hirsch. So we got two Jersey girls in championship matches. This is going to be the greatest women's pay-per-view of all time, boys. Get excited. Staying with the women's division, during that match between Layla Hirsch and the Bunny, Chris Statlander kind of got into the face of Nyla Rose, who was watching peacefully behind the guardrail. They got into it. So Ryan Joy, we have Chris Statlander going against Nyla Rose.
Yeah, and I think this is really going to be some setup for Britt Baker for All Out or something. So I would pick Chris Statlander here because Nyla Rose just had a match with Britt Baker.
Okay, gotcha. John Smith.
Yeah, give me Chris Statlander on this one.
Okay, John DeConnie. I'll go Chris Statlander too. I'll agree with that. I don't know. I guess we're gonna go towards Statlander versus Baker. You're thinking, Rye?
That's what I'm thinking. Statlander is currently ranked number 4, but she's 11-0 this year based on the AEW rankings.
So now, John DeConnie, Nyla Rose is just she's gonna just fall off again. Like, is Vicky Guerrero doing anything for her career?
It certainly doesn't seem it. I mean, she kept Nyla from falling victim to the the old Eddie Guerrero referee trick, but that seems to be about where she tapped out in terms of being an asset. Mm-hmm. But I will make it. I will also take Statlander. Unanimous.
Yeah,
that's
unanimous.
Also, I forgot to write on my notes. I just recalled right now. Jade Cargill was back on TV. She was out doing promotions and this, that, and the other with that Sterling guy, right? What's his name? Sterling?
Mark
Sterling. So it sounds like Jade Cargill is back. She's saying she was doing other things. I'm just thinking she is the, casualty of a gigantic roster. And then, like I said, Friday, we have our brand new show, 10 p.m. After you layeth the smacketh down, you get to get a dinosaur, a gorilla, or what was the other one in Rampage? What was the monkey? Video game Rampage. Anyway, it's going to be in Pittsburgh. Hometown hero Britt Baker, the AEW Women's Champion. She will be defending the championship against Red Velvet, who got all up in her face last Wednesday on Dynamite. So Britt Baker is going to let her have it. I believe they had a match before. I don't know if it was on Dynamite, Ryan, or if it was on one of those dark shows, but it sounded like Britt Baker schooled her in about 1.5 to 2 minutes.
Sure sounds like dark.
This is a different Britt Baker, and this is where we're at right now. So in Pittsburgh, huh?
In Pittsburgh, yeah. And Red Velvet really jumping the line on this. She's not she's number 3 ranked, so I guess she's not jumping the line too much, but Thunder Rosa and Tay Conti were were both in line first, and Chris Statlander after her. So we'll see. But hopefully this is a good showing for Red Velvet, because she's certainly talked about how she's a changed person, but I don't see any scenario whatsoever where she comes out with the championship.
Not at all. John DeConnie.
I would have to concur. Red Velvet not going to take the title off of Britt Baker in Pittsburgh.
Unless it's the Britsburg screw job. That, if that happens.
Imagine.
That'd be a crazy way to start the show. You get the feeling that if this wasn't in Pittsburgh, that CM Punk would be debuting.
Because it's the debut, yeah.
On the first night, not the second. That's pretty. I don't know. They're not waiting for SummerSlam weekend to do this. It's the fact that they're opening up. I'm sure they promised Britt this whole big celebration, bitches.
Well, truthfully, I think that there's buzz around it being the first show, and then now they've built buzz around the second show.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I think that.
Yep. So can't wait to see the one. John Smith, are you gonna give Red Velvet a shot?
No. Come on.
Okay. So that will do it for us today. Not too bad. Hour 40, no picks, unfortunately. Take the weekend off. Go have fun. I'm going to be playing in a cornhole tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, my God. You should see the brackets I made. Huge 8x4 foot. Huge brackets. Oh, it's going to be so good.
For a 4-person tournament?
What's that?
A 4-team tournament? Just a 4-team tournament, but you got that big bracket?
Yes. So we're doing 32. We're trying to get 32. Let's see what happens.
32. Is it double elimination? You got to have a loser's bracket in that.
No, it's just two 32 on one side. You played in the middle, then the same 32 just shuffled again. You played in the middle.
Oh, okay.
The primetime rundown. The guys that do not want to play us in fantasy football, powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca, is now airing at 7 p.m. on Monday nights as they take you through the world of sports right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. For more information, please go to theeasternobserver.com. To a person that will play fantasy football with us, Ryan Joy. Tune in to the Daily Wrestling News Show Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. and get your morning cup of joy with Ryan and his band of Merry co-hosts as they sort through all the Boulder Dash. Also right here on all of the Eastern Observer platforms. The Body Slam Brigade newsletter, over 4,400 subscribers receive this column weekly. Ryan, have we hit 45 yet?
Yeah, pretty sure.
All right. Make sure you go to minutestobelltime.com to subscribe. The Body Slam Brigade by Ryan, for you, for free. The Black Cats NYC's new album, Free Cake, the official band of the Eastern Observer. Please go to all of these music platforms and media outlets to get the new album by the Black Cats NYC. Play it, new album out now. Play loud. There you go. Free Cake. I like that. I'm gonna start using that more. And as always, the Essential Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Essential Wrestling Podcast public pool to play against us or create a private pool with you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. Guys, she will like it too. Join us next week for episode 67 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. We're going to stay live. It worked well this time. Might as well do it again. 6 p.m. Anyway, anyhow, you are watching this show now. Feel free to tune back in and watch it again. And also make sure that it is official. We are staying at 3 o'clock. Thank you, Impact. Unbelievable. Impact, this please join us for our SummerSlam special Saturday, August 21st at 3 p.m. for your SummerSlam pre-show, and our panel of so-called experts do a deep dive into all the matches on the card and make our picks for this annual summertime showcase. Biggest party of the summer, right? So there we go. That'll do that. Anything before we leave? Oh, look at it, Ryan Joy. Are you jumping on the bandwagon? Is this your official pick for SummerSlam?
No. Not a chance. But I did get the new merch. I got the "You Can't See Me" hat. So there you go. It'll go good at the end when I kind of
John
sign up.
Smith, and before we get out of here.
No, we gotta cut a promo on those guys next week if they don't accept our fantasy football challenge by then.
All right, next week, just make sure we'll be ready. We'll do it on air. We'll cut the video. We'll send it to Joe. But just so you know, Joey Jarzanka's in. He wants to do it. It's Ian and Rob. They're in too many leagues.
Public embarrassment. We'll get it.
I got a cocktail in my face. We're already making team names.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Dante Martin and the Sedans. What do they got?
Tom County. Anything before you go?
Impact Fears EWP, baby. They did not dare for the Americans on Saturday.
Ryan, Joey, anything you remember before we get out of here?
Hey, I put out a new shirt today. It says "Just Effin' Fight" on it, so you can get that on my website, minutespelltime.com. Click on the shop. Just Effin' Fight.
I don't think I can wear that when I'm bouncing at the bar.
We don't know what the effing stands for. Could be flying. Could be fun.
Yeah, I think John's trying to avoid fighting at his bar, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to be promoting them. Hey, guys, just effing fight.
Yeah,
I'll be over here smoking cigarettes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again. Alexa Bliss, you have a winking doll? I don't know. Whatever. It's fun, right? Yeah, it's fun. Larry Steve, forever in our hearts. John DeConnie, take it away.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Well, you know something, Primetime Rundown. What you gonna do when the Essential Wrestling Podcast whoops your ass in fantasy football, brother?